There's two things you never have enough of on a farm or a homestead. Number one is the lift capacity of your tractor. We're not going to address that today. And number two is enough space to put your tractor and all your stuff. That's what we're going to address today. So what are we up to today, Deb?
Well, we have partnered with a tractor company, which we'll reveal that pretty soon, hopefully very soon. And we've partnered with a company that builds sheds and pole barns in Northwest Florida.
That's right. We've partnered with Backwoods Buildings out of Chipley, Florida, and they service the North Florida and South Alabama area. I was talking to James, the owner, and he's a great guy. He's the one that helped us with our pole barn behind our shed here. We bought that from him and he installed it. But I was talking to him the other day about his reach and where he services, and he says he actually shipped a pole barn kit all the way to the Bahamas. I thought that was pretty amazing. Also, our good friends over at Kelly's Country Life, they also have a pole barn built by Backwoods Buildings. So Backwoods is going to come in here and build us the actual pole barn, and then the enclosure Deb and I are going to do. Now, we wanted to do the whole thing, but we also want to stay married and we want to make progress. So what did you think about actually building the pole barn and putting in those poles?
I was a little horrified, like I am a lot of times when he announces a big project for us to do. I think we could have done it. I think there would have been some flustering moments, to say the least, but I think we could have done it, but we just don't have the time to do it ourselves from scratch right now.
But what we got to do is clear this out, and we measured it out, and initially we were thinking we wanted it's going to be 20 foot deep, 20 by 48, but this land slopes away, and while you always want to build a building as big as possible, I think we're going to go with 20 by 32. But before we can do any of that, we got to clear out all this stuff we've been stacking here and also cut down the trees. What do you think about cutting down trees with a chainsaw?
Well, I don't think I'm ready to actually cut down a tree with a chainsaw, but I do like cutting up the logs once the tree is down, so it'll be a fun day maybe.
What we're going to do is cut down, I think, 9 trees here and lay them down. We're going to take the excavator and stack them. And part of the package we're getting with the tractor manufacturer includes a grapple. And we're really excited about that. We're going to have a grapple and a dump trailer.
I'm very excited about a grapple. I've never used a grapple. I'm very excited about a grapple.
And we'll be able to cart all this stuff to a burn pile. But for now, we just want to get it on the ground and start this process.
This post, Brad put in the ground years ago. Never used it, and now we're taking it down. So the other thing to learn in this process is when you're setting up, think long-term future plans. That is not a happy girl right there. That is not a happy Bella. Let's see, here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at that, that's good. Whoop. Look at that, no problem. No problem for the nameless tractor. What's a problem is the yappy dog. Seem to use the forks a lot out here. Do you guys use your forks a lot? I think they're very handy. Well, we knew they would be handy for some things, but I personally wouldn't have thought to use the forks to take out a post, but there we are. Easy breezy. And that's why Bella's on a lead. Just never know what's going to roll or fall or where she's going to be. So nice not having to worry about her. There we go.
What I'm pulling out now are 2 telephone poles that I put in the ground and then cut these notches out of so I could set logs up here and use my Alaskan chainsaw mill. But like Deb talked about earlier, we never have time really to do everything we want to do. And I never got around to actually milling anything out here. So I'm going to move these, pull these up, and then this will give us access so we can cut down all these trees. See if I can grab both of them at the same time now that one is pulled out. Everything just takes so much more time than you thought. I thought we'd get in here in a couple minutes, have all this area cleared out, and get to cutting trees, but nothing goes fast. I honestly didn't know I had that many posts and railroad ties here. You pull them out of the weeds, the pile gets bigger. This was actually one of our old fence posts from the front fence, and I think it's kind of cool to repurpose something like that. Who knows how old it is. They don't last forever though, because it is starting to rot. So how many times has something like that happened to you? That chain got caught in the little bit of wire that was around that post, and it didn't want to let go. But if you wanted to pick up that post by that wire, it would have broke in the first second.
Went to look for Bella, and Bella found a friend. I don't know what her friend's name is. He belongs next door, I'm pretty sure, but he's very friendly. So now I get to worry about 2 dogs and the tractor.
All right, 1 down, 8 to go. These aren't very technical cuts on these trees. 1, because I got the excavator putting a little pressure where I want it to fall. And 2, because I got a big target area. It can really drop anywhere. But I got that one dropped. I'm not gonna limit. I'm just gonna cut it maybe in thirds and take the excavator and create a pile here so we can move them with a grapple later. On to the next tree. Got the excavator positioned for tree number 2. If this happens the way I expect it'll happen, or that I want it to happen, part of the tree will fall right on the pile and I won't have to move it. That's if I estimated how tall this tree is and how far it will fall. Well, I didn't notch it right, and I don't want it to fall on that oak tree. I'm gonna reposition the excavator so I push it away from that oak tree. Hopefully I can push it away from my wedge cut. All right, I put some pressure that way and also away from the oak tree. Wish me luck, because I will be so sad if that lands on that oak tree. What do you think, Dev?
Well, I think my dog is not smart, is what I think. She has stayed away from this the entire time, and right before that tree fell, she comes over. That's why she wears a correction collar.
I was cutting the tree and I saw her coming towards me, so I ran towards her so she'd stay away from the tree. But crisis averted, and I'll show you how I cut this hinge. So I knew I cut that a little wrong, so I cut it on this side and left more hinge over here to try to pull it that way. And I had that pushing it that way as well.
Today he gets to play with all of his tools. Gets to play with his tractor and his excavator and the chainsaw. That's a good day right there. So have we said it yet today how handy the excavator is? Uh-oh. You get it all the way cut with the chainsaw right there. Look at that. Just fold a tree. And of course, when a tree comes down, the stump has to come out. Oh, look at that. That's a stubborn stump right there. Got that all dug around. Look at all those roots. It's pulled up. I think it'd pop out here pretty soon. Once the stump is pulled, that one tree's going to leave quite the hole. This has been such a stubborn stump. And normally they'd be out by now, but it's such a stubborn stump.
I hope they're not all like this.
That he's having to reposition the excavator to take a different angle at it. And we hope they're not all like this, because normally it's kind of quick to pop them out. We've got 6 more trees to take out. So that will definitely eat up our day if they're all this stubborn. It's a big stump. It's a lot deeper than we normally have them. Oh, did you hear that? That was kind of satisfying. That might have been a key root. Look at that. Yeesh. That's a lot of tree under there. Before we built the folks' house, we took a lot of trees out here to give them a backyard. And back through there, we took a lot of trees out, and it was quick. I mean, to get the trees and the stumps out were a lot quicker than this one stubborn one. It's just not budging yet. That's crazy. I think there's some movement on it. I don't know what we would do if we didn't have the excavator. I mean, I honestly don't know. How do people get stumps out? They hire a stump grinder? It's moving. Oh, pop. Oh, there it goes. There she goes, maybe. Yep, there she goes. Yikes. Wow, that was one of the most stubborn stumps I think you've ever had to take out. It doesn't look that menacing. Bloop. And now you got this mess. Filling the hole is certainly much quicker than digging out the stump, for sure. But honestly, it took longer than normal, but it still didn't take that long. Little mini excavator. Who knew? Well, I guess a lot of you knew. But if you didn't know, maybe you know now. We'll push in the dirt, back way a little bit, squish it with the tracks. Fun and functional.
Well, that pin's not supposed to be like that. What happens is your linch pin on this side will come out when you're working with brush, and you just got to keep an eye on it. Every time I've used the excavator, the last 3 times, I think I've lost the linch pin. And the way you prevent that is to wire it in with a piece of wire, and I always forget to do that.
That thing's been leaning for a while, leaning away from the house and away from us. Probably the easiest thing he'll cut all day. And there goes that one. He's on a roll now. He's just gone from tree to tree with his chainsaw. Timber.
After fighting with it for about 30 minutes, I finally got this stump out, and I just wanted to show you how deep these holes are, because these are not big pine trees, but their taproot goes down deep. So I'm 6 foot tall. The hole's gone down at least 4 foot. We're up underneath here, and I've loosened the dirt below that, but I had to get that low so that I had enough power to snap off the bottom of this taproot. But I finally got it. Stump number 2 coming out. Oh yeah, and while I'm remembering, I also lost another snap ring. I don't know if you can see it there, but I put a piece of wire on this one because I'm running out of snap rings. I guess when I'm digging out the stump, they rub against the stump and come loose. That was a very stubborn one. I hope the rest of them are a little easier, but this hole is 7 feet that way and good 6 feet that way, not to mention 5 foot deep.
Got this all filled in, graded out, packed in, looks good. This pile of carnage from the day. And I guess soon we'll make more carnage with more trees and the chainsaw. I'm not sure if Brad did a wide shot on the new pole barn, but it'll be 32 feet starting from about right here. He's trying to photobomb me and I caught him. Ha! Ha! Caught you. So it'll be from about here, 32 feet, and it'll end about here. And then it'll be 20 feet deep. You'll have plenty of room for the new equipment and for him to squirrel more stuff away. Can you believe you tried to photobomb me thinking I wouldn't see him? This is an exhausted little man. I get you, little man. I get you. I'm exhausted after trying to keep up with her all day, too. Ready for tree number I've lost count. There. How big it is. Oh, stop. There she goes. Right where he went. Oh, nope, not where he wanted her. Nope, he's shaking his head no. I thought he was going, nope. Oh, on the oak tree. He's been trying to save that little oak tree right there. He said he didn't do it right. The oak tree's okay. I mean, the tops might have brushed it, but it looks like it's still okay, so no harm, no foul. We talked about this when we got here, which ones we were going to take down, but that was like 4 hours ago, and he's taking some down, so I'm a little disoriented. It's another tall one. He didn't do the last one right, so I'm guessing he's adjusting his notch angle for this one. There she goes. Oh.
If I hadn't pushed it, it probably would have hit the tile.
Yep, he pushed it to try to avoid the last mishap, and he missed the pile. But had he not pushed it, it probably would have landed exactly where he wanted it to. That just looks like a good poster right there. In the country, on a dirt road, a bird dog with a chainsaw in front of a mound of dirt. Brad's gonna play pickup sticks and then on to the next tree. So we cleared an area out so we could fill the area back in. But like Brad said, when we get the new tractor and the implements, we get a grapple, and this will be our grapple practice pile, I think, which will be great fun. Really looking forward to the grapple. Words I thought I'd never say. I think his little pile is a little hard to tell how tall it is until you see it right next to the excavator. Taller than it looks on camera.
All right, that's another stump out, and again, it was stubborn in the hole that I had to dig to get that one out. You see how dry this is. It's powdery, but you got to get down deep or else you can't break off that taproot. You can see that it's tapered, and as it gets thinner at the bottom, you got to get low enough where you can break it off. But I got 2 more trees left, and I think I can get them done tonight, and then we'll have all the trees cut down and hopefully all the stumps out for this site, for this pole barn. I don't know if Deb mentioned it, but when I cut down that one tree, I totally missed it with the way I cut my wedge and my back cut, and actually hit this oak tree here, which I didn't want to do at all. And then the next one, I actually had it cut where it would fall where I wanted it to fall, but then I pushed it a little bit with my hand and I felt it shift, and then it missed the pile. So I think I'm batting like 2 for 6 or so. I wish I could do better. I just don't cut that many trees. These aren't big trees at all. It's not technical cuts. I don't think a lot about it, but I'm not getting it right, and I wish I did. But the good thing is I have the excavator, so when I do miss, it's just a matter of picking it up with the thumb and putting it on the pile. Forgot to turn the camera on when I cut them. Digging out the last couple stumps. This is the 4th pin that I've lost today. I don't know what it is. I wired up the last one, but I think this is the last extra one that I have.
Last stump.
All right, guys, that's quite a pile we got there. And also our mics went out, so that's why we're talking loud, and you probably hear the excavator in the background. But we got all the stumps dug out, put on the pile. I've just got to back blade or push that dirt back into the 2 holes I just dug for the stumps, and then that's it. The area for the new shed is cleared. And speaking of the new shed, please check out Backwoods Buildings in Chipley, Florida if you're in the local area here. And also, like we said earlier, they ship to the Bahamas, so maybe they'll ship to you. That's all we got for today's video. Y'all take care out there, and remember, life's short.
Be kind.
And tractor hard.
Take care.